Adam and Eve ruled and reigned in the kingdom, their kingdom on this earth, for a long time. That didn't happen overnight, the fall. It was a while. They walked together. They talked together. They did their work together. They were doing fine. But I want to take us back now. Let's not go there yet. I want to take you back and take you to the place where you understand the importance of the Spirit. You are a spirit being. The Spirit of God lives within you. If He doesn't, you're not yet His. Once you choose to become His, the Spirit of God will live in you, and He will give you the power and ability to walk in this world, to rule and reign, and to live right, and to do His will. Without His Spirit, you're left to yourself, and you won't do well. The problem with the church is we run to the Lord, to the Spirit of God, and say, help me, save me from this, do something, when we have needs. Or we come and we get filled with the Spirit one morning or one day or one service or one whatever as you spend time with Him. And the practice of people is as soon as you get what you need, you turn around, yield back to the flesh, and walk out the rest of the day like that. That is just the way it is, because that's the training. That's the habit. But that's wrong. You not only are not supposed to do that, you don't have to do that. If this same Spirit that raised Jesus Christ from the dead, if God's Spirit, who created everything, remember He was hovering over? Creation was all of God working together. Your spirit is hooked up to, you are filled with the very Spirit of the living God. And He does not come and go from you. He abides there. He lives there. He doesn't leave. He's always there. And since He's always there, you always have access, the ability to release the Spirit and walk as you should. That's the part we have to do. But you have to understand just how important that is, and you have to understand how easy it is. And then be disciplined to do it. Everything you do in God, you do by faith. You'll do that by faith too. But you're going to do it by understanding, hopefully by the time we are done, understanding that you not only have the privilege of walking and living like this, you not only have the ability to walk and live like this, you have the responsibility to do this. If we would walk in the Spirit, we would not fulfill the lusts of the flesh, the Bible says, doesn't it? You can and need to, just as Adam and Eve did, live by, walk by, reason by, know by, speak by, and do by the Spirit. Everything. To live there. You need to live there. You can do that. And I tell you that we must do that, or what happens is we mess up. We're tempted, we sin. We do things we shouldn't. We yield our way. We yield ourselves to things, and we get in trouble, or we get hardships, or we get whatever. Adam and Eve walked perfect before God for a long time, until one day they were tempted by a very devious devil, and he so is, always is, will never change his stripes. He's the same today, doing the same tricks that he did way back then. He doesn't do anything new. And they did not have to yield. They were not supposed to yield, but they did. Adam yielded his will to his wife and what she wanted, rather than what God wanted and said was necessary. The problem with the church as well as the world is they get the idea that God's mean. He's this bad guy, this bad God, and it's a you'd better not or else kind of a thing. But can I tell you, that's so far removed from Him? That wasn't it at all. He made all of this for his son. He gave it to him as an inheritance from his father and said, this is yours. Now, be fruitful, multiply, rule and reign over it. I've taught you how. It's yours, but be responsible with it. Because there's this one area you have to be careful of, and you have to be diligent, and you cannot yield to. Don't take from that tree to the knowledge of good and evil. Don't even go there, because the day you eat of it is the day you will die. That wasn't a rebuke from God. That was his truth being imparted to them with urgency and with necessity. I love you. I've given you everything. You belong to me. This is all yours. You're responsible for it, though, and I have to tell you, you can't go there or you're going to hurt yourself. Big time. Don't go there. But we know they did go there. Adam did what he should not have done in yielding to his wife. And can I tell you that men do that all the time since? God said, this is what I tell you, Adam. And he told him before Eve ever showed up on the scene. When Eve showed up, he told her too. Because that's the way God is. He informs the people he loves of danger, of what's right and wrong. And he makes it known so that we don't go there. Eve saw something she wanted and she worked hard to get it. And I have to tell you, that's the way of women. It just is. When they want something, they find all kinds of reasons why it's a good thing and a necessary, and they may believe it honestly. But that doesn't make it right. It doesn't make it what she should have. And a man, unfortunately, will tend to yield to her and give her what she wants, sometimes just out of a big heart, and sometimes because he doesn't want to argue and fight. Because she knows how to do that. Both times, they have to obey him. They have to listen to him. They have to yield to God's will. We have to listen to his will. Yield to him in all matters. And so, though this is now a fallen world that we live in, though you have all of the things and the situations that that brings, the day you got born again is the same day in essence that God blew his spirit into you. You were dead in your trespasses and sins before. The Spirit of God was not there. But one day, he hovered over you. And when things were right and you were ready and willing, he blew himself into you, if you will. He poured out his Spirit upon you and put it within you, and he made you his own. And he filled you full of himself. And he says to you now, you're in the same position in the Spirit that Adam and Eve were in the beginning. But you have to walk in it. You can't go where they went. They brought it all down. We tend to only do that in our lives or the lives of someone else. But the truth is still the same. We can't go there. And yet we know sometimes we do. And we know there's forgiveness, and we know that he helps us and all of that. That's all fine. But why not take first choice instead of second best? Okay, we need to take first choice.